And here we go with Storer chipping the ball over towards Jordan Cranston, who was pretty close to his man there. It looked as if that may well have been Clark that headed that one out. Neil Byrne, excuse me. Getting Neil Byrne mixed up with Nathan Clark. Of course, the stalwart at centre-back for Halifax. Good tackle being made there by Summerfield, and the ball going down the right-hand side over towards Pearce. And possession lost there as Hyde has managed to steal away. Going down the line, Bell has Williams in front of him, and Tyrone is able to steal that ball and play it back, but it's headed inside by King. Halifax losing control, but then winning it back through Williams, getting in front of Osborne. Now there's a bit of a tussle on the ball, and Hyde winning the free kick against the combination there of Storer and Williams just to our left-hand side. This could be within striking range. Three men over it for the moment. King will walk away. Luke Summerfield appears to be the most interested party. Summerfield will now be over this one, and he does strike, and it is over the top. It had the right idea, looking to go for the top left corner from Boots' perspective, going comfortably over the crossbar. So of course Halifax looking to play with the three-man midfield compared to the four that the Moors will usually play with. It's effectively a back seven. That's the idea that Jimmy Shan likes to play with. He likes to have at least 7 players behind the ball when there are attacks coming the way of his side. For the moment, the ball just out for a throw. And here it comes inside towards Summerfield, and now back in towards the heart of the defence. Very striking, these pink jerseys for the visitors, as Bell tries to get away from Kyle Storer, but loses possession there, and Hancock's will be forced to play back towards goalkeeper Ryan Boot. Now it comes back the way of Hancock's, who has been very impressive so far this season. In the middle of defence, not a normal role for him, not a natural role by any means. As the ball is just played backwards there to Johnson. Pearce winning the header up against Earring, who has himself 3 goals so far this season, the second top goal scorer for the visitors, as ball was just poked up towards Kyle Hudlin there, but the biggest of big men was not able to latch onto a run, nor was he able to get a leg in the way. And now Halifax will look to counter as good long ball crossfield going towards Williams. Now it comes back the way of the defence once again. This is Woods playing a 1-2 with Bradbury, but the ball is intercepted. Now it's loose, and then Bradbury goes in for a hard challenge with Kyle Storer. Storer calls out initially in pain, and the Moors really unsure as to how that wasn't their ball. Referee just stopping play for a bit of an issue with Kyle Storer, but all quickly resolved. And now the game is back underway. Mayer playing across the back line, and that almost invited pressure. James Ball was pushing high, and so too is Jordan Cranston, but he concedes a free kick there. That was King looking to advance down that right-hand side. Of course, James Ball is the Moors' top scorer in the league. Not quite in all competitions. That honour goes for Joe Sabara with his brace against Wrexham. So long ball once again comes inside from the right flank. Moores just about getting away with it, but then Gleeson loses it to Summerfield. An important sliding interception by Tyrone Williams cuts things up there. Still the danger not completely averted, but the loose ball does break back towards the goalkeeper Ryan Boot, and then Cranston will try and keep his header in, and Ball has played it off of King, and that's pretty good effort from James Ball to keep that from going out. He's actually kept possession in the Moors' hands. Cranston takes the throw in already and then looks to go down the line towards Hudlin. Hudlin this time chases what is another lost cause. But so far, very much even Stevens between these two sides as we get through these first 5 minutes. Johnson clears away long, looking for Bell. Good play from Hancock's, getting his foot around the body of Bell. Now the ball comes the way of Summerfield. It goes across to this left-hand side. Bradbury going across to Williams, and the cross comes in. It hangs high, but it is much too close to Ryan Boot for the liking of the Shaman. Now Hancock's on this left-hand side. Will just misjudged that there, and he was lucky that there was a trailing foot from Jake Hyde, because otherwise the Moors could well have been in a spot of bother. Moors just look to switch the play, as they so often do here. Williams will look to chip the ball through towards Hudlin. Summerfield is there to make the interception. Goes as far as Gleeson. Osborne has in a good position, but the referee sees that Osborne didn't really have the opportunity to do much with it. Brings the play back. As Storer will look to go cross-field. Cranston can't get to that ball. Jeff King coming back into a defensive area. Of course, these Halifax wing-backs will look to attack. King noted in some parts as an actual right midfielder, so very much used to going forward down that flank. Ball hangs in the air. Eventually Gleeson brings it down towards Ball, and now Osborne will look for the through ball towards Hudlin. It's just slightly overhit, but I have to say it wasn't exactly a guarantee that Johnson was going to get to that ball, but get to it he did. Moors have the throw. Tyrone Williams takes the opportunity to use some space, and he's actually managed to cut outside, plays it to Cox. Cox could go backwards here, but it's an attempted cross into the area that is cleared, and that will be kept in play. And now Bell will shield it from Storer and get away from a couple of Moors players. That's good, skillful play to bring it back towards Summerfield, and now there are players pouring forward in those pink shirts. King will look to thread it through, but Pearce gets in the way, and Hudlin could be in possession here. Good turn up against Summerfield. That's great technical play there from Hudlin. Great piece of skill, and that draws applause from the few that are here across from us in the Damson home stand. Now Ball just able to hold up the play and bring it towards Gleeson. Now Storer has a bit of space to work into. Comes out wide right, and then Cox and Storer will look to play a 1-2. Osborne there as well. They've got 3-on-3 here. Cox can look to make a run, and it's going to be chipped forward his way. Right idea from Kyle Storer, just slightly overhit in terms of execution, but that's better. That's exactly what we wanted to see from the Moors, that kind of inventive play. Brings something a bit more different to the build-up play. Things were all a bit too slow and predictable against Bromley. That was certainly our verdict from behind the mic on our radio feed on Saturday over on Switch, and safe to say that that was very much something that was not in Saturday's play, but that chip ball through from Storer. Halifax is trying to bring it forward at the moment. Ball is just brought away initially by the Moors, but now Bradbury will be able to bring it back forward. Plays a short 1-2 with Woods, and now here's Mayer. Cranston appeals for the ball down on that right hand side, but the visitors there get the decision. Kyle Storer just looking to press high there up against Woods. Flick on comes there from Hyde up against Hancock's, but using a bit too much of his arm, using Hancock's shoulder there to raise himself as high as he could. The referee saw that, gave the free kick the Moors way, could flick from Osborne, but it wasn't able to find Hudlin. A bit further forward now, Summerfield will try and advance it, but it's get intercepted there by Gleeson. Osborne can't bring the ball away from King, nor his opposite number, and now the ball going down the line there from Earring. Hyde does a good job to take it on his chest and then hold up play, but Hancock wins it back and wins it back well. Now there could be a counter for the Moors through Gleeson, playing the long through ball towards Hudlin. Osborne trying to twist and turn his way away from Bradbury and draws the foul. Now an attempt from Gleeson, and well, that was not too far away from the halfway line there from Stephen Gleeson, seeing Johnson there off his line, and that was very nearly the goal of the season, if not one of the great goals that the Moors have ever scored. Bell manages to do a good job of turning away from Williams and plays it inside towards Woods. Now it's with Byrne. Down the line towards King, but King running into a few Moors players there. However, Halifax do get the possession away, and King has managed to race back onto a ball, and there was an attempted challenge there from Pearce, but I think King had rather lost control of the ball right as he went into Williams, and the referee is chosen to let that one go, which I think is just about the right call. Now, however, Halifax are back on it here. Woods, however, finds the ball intercepted by Storer. Now Hudlin trying to turn his way away from attention. Ball looks to go outside towards Cox. Osborne was making a run out that way as well, but then Osborne rather stopped. Now there's a hard challenge there by Osborne. Was a clear attempt to go for the ball. Execution, however, seemingly by the reaction, rather lacking. Pretty difficult to see that one just to our right-hand side. Williams still down as a result of it, but just about getting to his feet. All should be okay. Osborne not averse to making some hard challenges, not averse to getting in the faces of referees. It's all part of the passion that he brings to the game, but such a skillful player, of course, he is as well. We've seen some good skill already from Kyle Hudlin in the course of this game. We're around 10 minutes into this one. We unfortunately did not have the benefit of a game clock like those of you at home, but it is, of course, Moors 0, Halifax 0. No real chances going the way of either side so far. The closest we have come to a goal has been that sudden free kick from Gleeson, but now Halifax will look to build from the left-hand side. Williams does get a cross that evades every Moors defender and breaks out towards King on the right-hand side. Cranston manages to win the ball. It's now loose. Gleeson will try and race onto it. Does bring it away from Woods, but it is going to go straight out for a throw. Williams just to our near side, still looking a little bit ginger after that challenge from Osborne, but he should be okay. As here is Bradbury now. Interception by Osborne and almost winning it back on the follow-up. But now Williams wants to poke it forward, go towards Bell. It's Pearce getting just in front of him there. Now it hangs high. Bradbury will chip it forward once again. Williams, a bit of concern there as he was just leading with the arm for a moment, and now the ball goes back towards Ryan Booth, who was always in front of Hyde. Bradbury just bringing it away from Osborne. Now Williams down the line, going towards Earring. There's a bit of space to run into. We'll try and take on Williams to the outside and then turn, then go back towards Williams, and here's the cross. It's cleared, and, well, not exactly cleared, as Storer does play it back towards Ryan Booth, and now Hudlin with a chance to put Meyer under some pressure. So now Halifax will bring it forward once again. Long ball down the line appears to be wayward. Hancock will send it back the other way, but only for a throw. Seems as if Halifax are just settling into a spell of more possession. It appears as if once again the Moors do want to counter-attack, but at the very least they have shown a little bit more inventiveness in the way that they're going about things. Through balls down the line, down the middle of the field as well. And a nice chip ball from Storer that was looking for a run from Cameron Cox into the penalty area. So there's a bit more versatility to the Moors game than there was on Saturday. Halifax, however, at the moment have a free kick. They choose not to play it forward from the halfway line, and now here is Bradbury. Moors have made a few interceptions in the game so far. That might be a theme to keep an eye on. See if maybe a goal will come the Moors' way through a mistake, perhaps. Hancock's just cutting in front of Niall Bell there, plays it inside towards Storer. Now Gleeson will play it high, looking for Cameron Cox, who takes it down well, but doesn't really have anybody to go to. And is in the end forced all the way back towards his goalkeeper. Here's towards Gleeson, just looking for Osborne there, who wants a free kick and eventually gets it. Now Gleeson goes long once again, not towards goal this time, but could bring Cranston into play. Cranston just being penalised for a slight push there. There wasn't much in it, but I think King had it covered. Generally, you're always going to see the defence get the benefit of the doubt in those situations, regardless of how light the contact may be. Trying to listen out to Jimmy Shan over on the opposite touchline, saying something about being sat in too deep, from what I could hear. Long ball is flicked on by Earring, looking for Hyde, cleared away there by Cox. Bit of head tennis between the two teams now. Gleeson gets it down towards James Ward. Had a bit of space to work with initially. Now Gleeson unfortunately can't find Jordan Cranston, then plays the ball off of King. Then eventually it does reach ball. Store in the middle in a bit of space, but it's going to go inside towards Huckman and cleared away there, appears by Mayer. Now Hyde looks to play it back inside and does. Here's Earring. Store just about getting a foot in there and helping to break up that counter a little bit, but Halifax still on the ball with King playing away from ball. Good pressing from the Moors there. That was a somewhat dangerous situation. Storer couldn't win the ball, but he did well to disrupt the attack. There is an injury for the visitors. Heard a cry of Jake, so can only assume that it is Jake Hyde who's down. Indeed it is. So this would be a big concern for the visitors, of course. The marquee signing from Woking over the extended summer that we had scored plenty of goals for Woking last season, helping them make an impression on the playoff race in their first season back in the National League. Jamie Osborne takes the opportunity to have a slightly more cordial word with the referee about the incident just over on the corner flag to our right hand side, and the signal is for a change. So we'll have a look over at the Halifax bench and just see who it may be that replaces him. Presumably it will be Javaro Nepomuceno.
Run in there, mate. I fucking jogged in there. You've never played the fucking game, that's what it is. Never played the fucking game. Well,
Hyde just going off to this near side and
fucking let him referee the game, not you.
Putting his shirt over his head. Clear frustration for Halifax's main marksman. Game will resume with an Osborne throw. Side's a bit unsure as to who should get possession back, as Cameron Cox plays it back towards the Halifax keeper. Johnson looks to play down to the right hand side. King wanting a free kick for a push from Jordan Cranston and getting it. James Wall seeing fit to exchange words with the referee, who's think it is safe to say we could hear Jamie Osborne. Apologies if any of that was picked up on our mic here, having a word with the linesman on this near side, complaining about the referee not letting things go, and certainly the referee is blowing a little bit. It's not really to any side a major advantage or disadvantage so far, as the free kick is played short towards Mayo. Now Summerfield will get the chance for the cross, and it is flicked on and in, and claiming it is Woods. Just getting the flick on at the near post off of that cross from Summerfield. The Moors might well have been served there to try and look out for that short free kick. James Ball still unhappy with the decision. It was soft, certainly, from the free kick there that was awarded, as Cranston was penalised for pushing King off of the long clearance from the goalkeeper Johnson. But as it is, Halifax have taken the lead and their run of goals continues. And of course it continued with 10 men on the field, as now being introduced to proceedings is Javaro Nepomuceno. Game gets back underway with Osborne going back towards Kyle Storer. And the Moors are going to need some more of the signs of inventiveness that they've shown throughout the course of the game. That won't do, as Storer gives the ball away towards Niall Bell on the right-hand side. Now King looking to shield it from Ball. Here's Summerfield. Williams screaming for it towards the left-hand side. It's going to come the way of Nepomuceno. It's a decent first touch, but he is offside. Not happy with the call, but at least appreciating the idea behind the cross coming his way, as he gives the thumbs up the way of King. Boot now clears, going towards Hudlin. I think part of the idea behind starting Hudlin might well be that he can play more of a role with the long ball coming his way. The Moors really didn't utilise the long ball very much at all against Bromley. I think part of that might well have been they tried to play along the ground more because of Cameron Archer's influence, as Osborne gets a free kick there. I think the referee wanted to play advantage initially as the ball came Hudlin's way. Bradbury just taking a moment to have a word with the referee over that particular challenge, or rather the referee taking the opportunity to have a word with Bradbury. Paul Storer exchanging words as well, so clearly some ire for both sides. I do wonder if maybe the influence of Jamie Osborne just getting on people's backs has played a bit of a role here, and things as James Ball smashes it in to level the scores here at 1 apiece, and Halifax losing the second ball in the area. And James Ball now with his 4th goal of the season in the National League, now the joint top goal scorer in all competitions as well as the top scorer in the league, blasting home to make it 1 apiece. And for a side as defensively disciplined as Halifax are, they will be very disappointed with that, as it hung high towards the left-hand side of the area and was nodded down, and the loose ball seemed to be pink shirts queuing up for it, but as it happened, it ended up in the back of Sam Johnson's net. And right as Halifax take the lead, with very little having really gone on between these two teams in terms of goal-scoring opportunities, as soon as a clear-cut opportunity comes the way of one side, comes the way of the other as well, and they both result in goals. Ball just gone out for a throw on this near side, and will be brought back into play by Bradbury. Easy header for Cameron Coxwin, not much strength on the throw-in at all. Appears for a handball against Woods, and the Moors get that decision. Kyle Storer looking for an opportunity to be adventurous with this one, but he's eventually goes short. Got Cox to his outside if he wants to go there. Hudlin down the middle, but he goes backwards towards Williams. Hancock's losing possession there to Nepomuceno, and Stephen Gleeson helping out down the right-hand side. Throw-in taken towards Summerfield, and now back the way of King. Was he just brought down there? Appears not. Then Hancock plays it off his own man, and now Nepomuceno trying to guide it around Gleeson. Can't quite do so. All a bit wayward down there. A few ricochets eventually taken out of play for the Halifax throw. The referee is just going to stop play for a quick moment. Believe I heard him say, "You don't want to talk to me like that." Take two on the throw now. Goes short towards Summerfield, now back inside and played off of Cranston for the corner. So this will bring Byrne, Mayer and Bradbury into the box. Only man back is Williams at the moment for the visitors. Referee just stops the play for a bit of shoving just on the near post from where the corner is being taken. And now here it comes in. It's low and looked to be going in towards Earring, and corner once again as Gleeson appears to have been the man that headed that one out. Here it comes, going a bit towards the goal mouth more, but it went over the man at the near post. And now Boot will try and clear quickly, but it's going to go right to Summerfield. And Boot really could have done with getting back to his line there. If Stephen Gleeson saw fit to shoot earlier, then I'm sure Summerfield would have done so just there. But as it is, Halifax try and play it forward along the ground, and Hancock is able to clear it out for a throw. King playing it backwards off of the throw. It comes away of Mayer in the heart of defence, and Jamie Osborne will see fit to push up high. Williams available to the left, and it comes his way. Gets it around Cox, and Bell there just not quite able to get in front of Tyrone Williams. Now the high ball up towards Hudlin. Just can't quite control it. Nearly came down towards Osborne, but it was cleared away by Woods. Man down on the left-hand side from a Halifax perspective. Looks as if it's Bell that's down. It is indeed. Bit of confusion here as to whether or not the referee has given a free kick. He doesn't appear to have done so. And now the debate is who gets the ball. Halifax do eventually get the ball, and it's played long by Bradbury. Tyrone Williams is easily able to get that one away. Osborne looking for the flick on. Kyle Hudlin was a bit too close to him there. Johnson's clearance invites the pressure from Cranston against King, but King does well to show good strength to hold him off. However, Cranston is able to make the challenge. Cameron Cox is screaming for it. Gleeson, however, had his back to that, and the ball is kept on the left-hand side. Now Pearce will look initially for the long ball and fake it, and now here comes Hancock's long ball looking for her, and it's headed away by Mayer. Gleeson helps it backwards. Ball bouncing and was initially tricky, but not tricky enough for Pearce to have any difficulties playing it back to his goalkeeper. Now ball gets the flick on towards Cox. I think Cox might have thought that Hudlin was out a bit wider. Cox will chase it down all the way back to the goalkeeper, and it's not the best of clearance. Well, it didn't look like the best of clearances coming our way, but Williams gathers it well. Loses possession of the ball, however, and ends up back with Pearce. Cranston was just looking for the flick on going Osborne's way there, but miscued from him. Ball being played high and no free kick after Bell went down. But then couldn't quite keep his header in play off of the long clearance. Now Byrne will get a throw-in back into play from just in front of his own dugout. Here it comes back the way of Mayer, and now towards Bradbury. Looking for a long ball this time, intercepted by Gleeson, one of umpteen interceptions in this first half by the Moors. Now the ball being played high, and Hudlin could chase this one down here. Mayer wasn't quite quick to react to that one, and now Osborne in contention to try and win this ball as it's cleared by Sam Johnson going right our way, and that's what good pressing high at the field will do for you. And certainly the goal has helped the Moors grow in confidence. They're still looking to counter, but again, just a few more different ideas compared to what we saw on Saturdays. Now Gleeson gets the throw short, and it comes towards Cox, who looks to try and take on Earring, who just uses his arm there to help the ball away. And now Storer sliding in and almost winning it. James Wall was coming back there. Niall Bell's first touch a bit heavy as the ball came his way down the right-hand side, and Stephen Gleeson will be able to clear away, but Halifax just starting to push a little bit higher now. As Pearce finds Storer in a bit of space, and now out to this near side with Cameron Cox. Back the way of Storer. Osborne was looking to go back to Storer with the 1-2. This should be a booking, you would think. As the yellow card goes the way of Martin Woods. So this looks like it's going into the area. This scores a similar position to where the free kick came in that led to the goal. Pearce forward. Just towards the left-hand side. Hudlin is there with him. Williams is lined up more towards the middle, and Cox to the right. Ball is also towards left. It's coming the way of Pearce, who does get a header, and could get the second header as well. It's not quite headed away, but Byrne takes care of it in the end. Only as far as Cranston, however. We're going to shield it from King and play a 1-2 with Ball, and King just getting in the way there. Now there could be a counter on, and here it is. This looks like Earring racing onto it, and he's got Nepomuceno to his outside left if he wants to go that way. He keeps it instead. Now looks to take on Hancock and go for a high cross, and it is wayward and will go out of play for a goal kick. And that was a dangerous moment there for the Moors, because Earring had just looked up there. He might have been able to spot the run coming from his left from Nepomuceno, who was in some space. Ball goes long and beyond Kyle Hudlin in the end, so back into the hands of the goalkeeper Sam Johnson. Ball just out to the right hand side now. Goes back the way of King via Bell. And then once again, more good high pressing as Gleeson and Ball press up higher. Earring beaten to the ball there, but ends up winning the throw. Comes back the way of Byrne off of the throw. And now here's Johnson with a clearance. A bit wayward, ends up with Gleeson, but it was a bit heavy for him to control. And now a chip ball forward, looking for the run of Nepomuceno out towards the right-hand side this time. Been seen mostly on the left since he came on to replace the injured Hyde. Bit beyond him on that particular occasion. The Moors end up getting a goal kick, and now it's with Hancock's. Looking for the long ball once again. Couldn't quite get it beyond Summerfield, and now this is King. Byrne getting a ball inside, and it's a good one towards Earing, who just shields it away from Stephen Gleeson. And now Woods outside left, and there's a bit of space for Halifax to exploit here. Bradbury going forward with Danny Williams. He has to play back towards Summerfield here. Storer now presses up high, but the ball comes away with Nepomuceno, but now here's Summerfield once again. Looking for the cross this time, and that was dangerous there as Bell just threatened to get goal side of Mitch Hancock's, but Hancock's anticipated it well and won the header with relative ease in the end. Storer finds himself pressured by Summerfield and goes back to his goalkeeper. Now the ball comes away of Hancock's. Looking to go down the line towards James Ball that time, but it's beyond him. The Moors will get a throw in here from a good position as a result of that rather wayward clearance. Cranston will get the opportunity to play it down the field. Looking towards Ball, he's looking for a short option now. There it goes, short to Gleeson. They look to play a 1-2, but Cranston unable to keep it in play as he looks to play it back towards one of two former Birmingham City players on the pitch for the Moors this evening. Tyrone Williams able to get to that header as the ball was played down the line by Williams, and then a trip from Danny Williams on Cameron Cox sees the Moors get a free kick in the defensive area. Ball with Christian Pearson looking to go to Storer, and Storer is brought down by Summerfield. Didn't look much in that challenge, but it was definitely a foul. And the free kick wayward, Summerfield able to intercept it before it gets the way of Jamie Osborne. Tyrone Williams let that one go out of play. It looked from our angle as if he did, and that is the call from the linesman on this side. It's in a fairly dangerous position as well, you have to say. Williams will play it back towards Bradbury to take. And after the equaliser, I was just about to say after the equaliser, it feels like the game is starting to go the way of Halifax in terms of possession, but there was just a counter-attack on there until Storer was forced backwards. I don't think he was happy with the way the ball came into his feet. Now Pearce goes towards Ball, and there's space here for Cranston to attack if he can get in front here of Byrne. The cross comes in towards Hood, and it's headed away by Bradbury and out for a corner. And there's some good direction there from the Moors. Osborne going to the far side from our perspective over at the Drain Tech end. Hudlin will stand right on the goal line along with Ball. Pearce will join them there, and so too will Tyrone Williams, who's basically shielding the goalkeeper. So this will come right into the goal mouth and is headed high rather than long. Looks like Bell on it. Now Pearce trying to come back to help out. Cranston will go up for it. Bell once again gets to it, but it's only as far as James Ball, who was forced in the end all the way back towards Cameron Cox. Doesn't look like there's any urgency from the Moors to play the high ball. But James Ball has a bit of space to attack here. Of course, the goal scorer early this evening looking to chip it forward, and it comes off of Summerfield and bounces nicely for Jordan Cranston. The ball is available down the line, but that pass is intercepted. And rather well won the ball there, did Hancock. And now Cranston with a chance to shoot and well over in the end. That was obviously a very good tackle from Mitch Hancock. There was a pink shirt in our way that meant we couldn't quite see whether or not he'd won the ball, hence our thinking there was a certain foul. And it set up an effort for Cranston there, who is no stranger to striking from range. Of course, he did so in the game at Morecambe. That led to the mistake that set up Hudlin's goal in that game. Of course, opening the scoring on that particular day. Not so sure that clearance was particularly wayward. It looked as if it was intended for Danny Williams, and he will now attack the left-hand side, and Cameron Cox slides in well to make the challenge. Looks as if it'll be Williams on this particular throw, as Earing looks to make himself available. It ends up going towards Nepomuceno. And now Bradbury with a chance to cross, and it's going to hang high over Bell in the end, and there's a bit of holding in the area that will see the Moors get a free kick. So we're just a few minutes away from half-time here. We're beyond the 40th minute. Been relatively even, as the scoreline suggests. Not much coming either side's way in terms of goal-scoring opportunities, but so is the form that Halifax are in. They've taken theirs, and the Moors, rather against the run of form, if not necessarily the run of play, have taken theirs. But now there could be a counter, although Danny Williams has shown too much of the ball to his namesake Tyrone Williams, and a counter could be on, if not for a sliding challenge there from Summerfield making the interception to bring it away from Ball. Nearly broke for Hudlin, but Mayer brought it away from him. Now a chip ball going through, looking for Earing, but Hancock brings it away with the help of Kyle Storer, as the ball goes back once again towards Christian Pearce. Now Pearce plays it towards Kyle Storer, but he's let it run unintentionally, and now Earing can try and chip it through, but it was well beyond Niall Bell. And it rolls through comfortably to Ryan Boot. Osborne just looking to play it out towards the right-hand side, but it looks as if the referee's played advantage here, and Gleeson will look to play it long down the line towards Cameron Cox, and it's gone beyond, and looks like Woods is down as a result of that challenge. Game will just be held up. I think Osborne might want a card here. Of course, it was Woods who was on the challenge. He's not going to get one, Jamie Osborne, but I think his argument will be a bit more intense simply as a result of Woods already being on a yellow. Woods, of course, the goal scorer earlier on, flicking in at the near post after the short free kick resulted in the cross from Jeff King, and then I believe actually it was Summerfield on the cross, excuse me, and then the equaliser coming from a free kick across the field in towards the left-hand side of the Halifax area. There was a header won on the left side, and then the loose ball smashed into the back of the net by James Ball to level things up for the Moors. It's probably fair to say we'll get a fair bit of stoppage time, of course. Jake Hyde going off earlier, and now this injury means that we could expect to see a good 3, maybe even 4 or 5 minutes before we go to the break. And we're just a moment or two away from seeing exactly how many minutes we will indeed get. Doesn't look as if Woods is going to go off the field, and if he is, then he's going very, very slowly, and looks as if he will indeed do so. So Halifax will be down to 10 men. And it'll be 3 minutes that we're going to get of stoppage time. As the ball is cleared high, and now Woods will gingerly make his way back onto the field. Williams doing well to clear that ball away because he almost lost control of it with his first touch. Bradbury heads it out from Waterrow. Osborne wants to work the tempo here. Goes towards Storer. First touch took him away from the direction of the goal, and now the ball goes back to Pierce Summerfield, still pressing hard up the field here, but it goes out towards Hancock's from Pierce. And tries to take on his man, and well, the Moors are incensed they don't get a free kick, and it looked like one from here, and now there's a push from King on Gleeson as the game threatens to start getting out of hand. Yellow card seemingly shown to Stephen Gleeson for an incident off the ball. When we saw it, it was Gleeson being pushed over, but clearly he triggered all of that. A reaction, of course, to that free kick that Mitch Hancock didn't get. Free kick from Summerfield, looking towards Bradbury. Cox will go up with him, and it's half won by Bradbury, but it'll be with James Ball to try and clear, and plays it off of Byrne. Cameron Cox will have the throw-in right on the corner flag, and of course you think back now to the game on Saturday against Bromley, the Moors conceding in first half stoppage time on that particular occasion. They'll want to see this one out. Be a bitter blow for that to happen in back-to-back games, but it's the Moors defending at the moment as a header is won by Williams, but Ryan Boot calls for it, and Tyrone Williams lets it go after the header from Danny Williams. Boot urging his players to push higher. Here as the ball will once again look for Hudlin, who gets a flick onto it, but it was just a little bit too high, even for him. Of course, there's plenty of attacking options on the bench for the Moors, should they need them in the second half. Joe Sabara, Jamie Ward and Cameron Archer, all available to Jimmy Shan. Halifax, of course, have already used their main attacking option from their bench as a result of the injury for Jake Hyde. Halifax winning the throw despite the calls from the Moors. It's back with Byrne, but he's managing to chip it forward. A little bit of wind there, just bringing the ball almost into play for Halifax, but there is the half-time whistle. So in a game of few chances, we've somehow had 2 goals. The opener coming for Martin Woods, the header at the near post, flicked in after the cross from Summerfield off of the short free kick. And then the response going right back the opposite way as James Ball smashed into the back of Sam Johnson's net, following the free kick that came in from the right-hand side and was headed down towards him, and the loose ball simply smashed in by Ball. I think Halifax, for the defensive record that they boast, it is the joint 5th best defensive record in the National League coming into today's game. Of course, that's based on a goals per game ratio rather than goals conceded, total goals conceded. They conceded, of course, 12 in 12 games coming into this one. But for a defence of that stature, and particularly a defence that is often as good as Halifax's is, you think back to a couple of seasons ago, Halifax was so good defensively, but they were lacking in goals, and that was really what separated them from the playoff place that they did manage to achieve last season. safe to say that maybe that was probably their weakest defensive performance in the last few seasons. And certainly on that basis, they'll be disappointed to have conceded that goal, because they've just gotten themselves into a good position against a Moors side that have struggled for form in the last couple of games and struggled for ideas in attack on Saturday, notably against Bromley. But it's been much better from the Moors so far. Even before they went behind, they looked a bit more inventive, and I think Jimmy Shan will be a bit more happy with the way things went. Certainly fewer clear opportunities going the way of the visitors compared to Saturday's game, and a bit more inventiveness going the other way. So I think it'll be a bit more of a calmer dressing room for this particular interval. But as it is Solihull Moors 1, Halifax Town 1, and we'll go to our half-time break here on Solihull Moors TV. We are live in association with Primrose's Kitchen. See you in a moment. Meanwhile, Halifax Town will get this game back underway. They attack the drain tech end this time around. The Moors will attack the Gerund stand, or the tuck shop end, as it is more traditionally known as. And the ball is with King, and we'll see if the Moors, once again, we're just about to say about how the Moors have done a good job of making interceptions and setting up counter-attacks based on those. Will we see more of that in the second half? Well, there's your evidence already, but it's now Halifax who can set up a counter with Nepo Messino, and it looked to be a handball there from Christian Pearce, and Storer pays it back rather calmly towards the goalkeeper. Hudlin brings the ball back towards James Ball, and the Moors win the throw there. Foul there against Mayer, and the free kick taken quickly towards Earing. Bring the ball away from Storer, going out towards the right. Here's Nepo Messino. Look for a cross, goes back the way of Earing, and now could come for Summerfield, and it's a good save for Ryan Boot. It was a fairly comfortable height, but he had to stretch for it, and he parried it around his post. Meyer taking the opportunity to come forward for this one. It looks as if Byrne is in the area as well, headed out by Kyle Storer at the near post. Corner once again. Richard Beale barking out the instructions to Jamie Osborne over on the Moors dugout. This time Halifax lining up a bit differently. Earing and Nepomuceno on the near post and around the 6-yard box. It's headed out once again for another corner there. Take 3 for Halifax as they look to build early pressure here in the second half. Going to be Summerfield to take it this time. So there's some 6 pink shirts in the box. It's taken short and comes back the way of Summerfield now. He tries to blast it and it's deflected, took 2 deflections and ruled another corner. It's going to be Summerfield once again. That short corner appeared to just catch the Moors off guard a little bit, but they were good to react to the sharp effort coming in from Summerfield. Woods is there once again, but Osborne will cut off the short option this time, although they will nonetheless try it. Now it's going to come out towards King, who's effectively the third man in that move, and it's deflected once again, but this time it is a goal kick. Boot just surveying the field. Has Jordan Cranston available to this side, but it's going to go long, going up towards either Ball or Hudlin. It's actually gone towards Hudlin, and then he nods it on, looking for Ball, making the run. And it had to be cleared away there. It looked like it was Mayer who was getting that one out. Taken towards Osborne, and he looks for the flick down the line towards Cranston, but it is cleared away by Byrne. Hancock's wins the header to the inside, and it was almost there in contention for Bell to go and win it, but Pearce will have it, and he'll clear long. Hudlin was offside, so he couldn't go and claim it. Danny Williams alert to the threat from Cameron Cox, but he will chase it down all the way. Tyrone Williams now will take it down, bring it away from Bell. Look for the ball down the line, and does he win a throw? Not quite, but Hudlin peels away from the defender. Only for Halifax to win the ball back, and now there could be a chance to counter as they switch the play quickly here. King sees a run down the line. It's like earring on it, and indeed it is. He's looking to bring it away from Pearce. Cuts to the inside. Looked like he might have an avenue to shoot, but then played it across towards Summerfield. Now a bit of a mix-up between Gleeson and Pearce, but the ball comes back the way of Ryan Boots in the end, and all is well and clear. Hudlin being held slightly there, but never going to be a free kick. Gleeson making an interception on his chest. And now Cranston brings it away, looking once again for the head of Hudlin, trying to peel away from the defender, looking for a mistake there, because there's nobody really around him other than Jamie Osborne to nod it towards. Now it comes down the left-hand side, and Williams up against Cox. Cox makes the challenge, and it was an important one. Jack Earing trying to make himself available as a short option. Bradbury comes forward, but Osborne tracks him. And it does go the way of Earing. Now across. It's low. Not the easiest for ball to deal with as it bounced up into him. Then Tyrone Williams struggles to clear. Earing with it just on the angle of the left side of the penalty area. Could be take-tailed across for Williams. Cox is there to block once again. And Halifax starting this second half strongly. But Earing there, can't get around Kyle Storr, and he'll now chip it forward. Looking for Hudlin, really just about trying to get the Moors to press high that one. As the ball ends up going back to Sam Johnson. Williams wins the header well, looking for Osborne, who just about has it taken away from him by Woods. Now the ball out on the left-hand side. This looks to be Nepomuceno looking to make something happen. It goes inside short towards Williams. Now Nepomuceno making the run onwards, and it goes towards Earing, and Hancock's is there to make a good sliding challenge. Corner once again to Halifax. It's their fifth already in the second half. But that was an important intervention there from Hancock's. Do of course have a few other fixtures going on elsewhere. We've got Weymouth against Wrexham, Notts County against Stockport, but we're looking at this corner coming in right now was Hudlin, getting the header away, and now that is Cameron Cox trying to guide it past a couple of pink shirts and keep the counter going, but unable to do so. Other game we have in action is Torquay against Dagenham and Redbridge. Surprise lead there for the visitors. Ball headed away by the Moors initially after that long clearance, but it comes out to the left winger Williams, who tries to chip it forward, and Boot will see that go over his crossbar. So just to go through quickly, through those scores, Weymouth leading Wrexham by 2-0. Notts County have themselves a home lead against Stockport. Those two were, of course, the pre-season favourites alongside the Moors for promotion. And then, of course, as we mentioned, Dagenham and Redbridge in that surprise lead at Torquay, they have a 1-goal lead there. That clearance from Boot a moment ago was looking for Cranston, was a little bit wayward and goes out for the throw. Bit of a delay while we wait to get this back in play. Of course, with no spectators, you can expect that at times, as Byrne plays it across the field. And now this is Williams trying to cut inside and make something happen. Goes back the way of Summerfield. Now this appears to be Bradbury coming forward. Goes back to Woods. And now Summerfield looking for open space, and now they get, looks like Nepomuceno there, but he's given it straight to James Ball. Not too sure what Nepomuceno was trying to do with that one, but here is Woods, now back outside to Williams. Ball just running beyond Earing on the left wing, and the ball goes back the way of Boot. Niall Bell was anticipating that ball going back his way. James Ball nips in front of Woods there, and that'll be a free kick to the Moors. Looks like Kyle Hudlin wanted to take it quickly. Looked like a painful one, that one, for James Ball, with the... looked like a high boot there initially. I'm not so sure that's where the contact actually was. Calls of Stars Weight. So Ryan Boot may have been in a bit of trouble for a moment just off the ball. But now Storer will look to chip it forward initially, then play short to Gleeson, and now he'll chip it forward looking for Hudlin. It's a decent ball. Hudlin's in contention to win. He brings it down, takes a good second touch, and now will fire at goal. What a goal from Kyle Hudlin! Superb first touch to take it on his chest, then bring it away from the defender, and then just blast it. But with precision. Sam Johnson got a fingertip to it, but there is nothing you can do about that as a goalkeeper or as a defender, to be honest. I mean, the defender was perfectly placed to nip in front of Hudlin to win that second ball. We've seen skill from Hudlin earlier on in this game in trying to help set up a counter-attack, but that was skill in how you single-handedly make yourself a goal. It's Kyle Hudlin's first league goal. It's incredible to think with that technical skill that he was playing some 5 or 6 levels below the National League just a month or two ago. But here he is with a first goal at this level. And what a goal it is from Kyle Hudlin. Perhaps the goal of the season so far from a Moors perspective. You'd have a tough time picking between that one and Jamie Osborne's lob against Kings Lynn, but it's definitely those two that are contenders. Personally, I guess I'd pick Hudlin out of the two. If you want to weigh in on that one, you can always tweet myself at Team BenMC if you want to disagree with me on that one. As the Moors win a free kick out on the right hand side, but that has lifted the mood. We spoke about how some Christmas spirit was needed. Of course, we say that in a very tongue-in-cheek way going into the game, but that just feels as if it really has brought some genuine spirit to the small gathering of people close to the club here at Damson Park. What a goal that was. Boot now going down the line towards Hudlin once again. I don't think he was expecting the ball to come to him. It nearly does a second time, but he gets penalised for the high boot. Niall Mayo just pushing out at the man of the hour there, as good free kick is won initially by King, and then it goes over Earing, but it lets Bell bring it back out to the outside. However, Cranston is there to guide against that ball. Was kept in play in the end, but Cranston gets the chance to clear at the second attempt. Good strength from Hudlin. Wins the initial header. Brought away from him, however, by Summerfield. Hancock's doing well to make that interception because Nepomuceno was in behind there and ready to pounce. Certainly there's more urgency now from the visitors as Bradbury tries to bring it forward against Osborne. An interception there from Cameron Cox. Can he bring it away? Yes, he can. Got Osborne to his outside, but he's going to try and go it alone. Has Ball and Hudlin in support. Can't quite get around them. It nearly came for Hudlin, nearly broke his way, but as it is, it's cleared. Woods bring out to King on the outside, and that was a nice attempt at a long ball. And then Cameron Cox involved and off the ball into, it looked like with Jack Earing there. Williams will just play back to Ryan Boot as Earring will chase it down. And a bit of a wayward ball there from Boot. And Kyle Storer comes to the Moors' rescue. Now the ball down the line towards Hudlin. Those balls through the middle have been key to getting the Moors a bit more involved. Bit more of a sight on goal with those through balls through the middle in this particular match, as a bit of a wayward ball there intended for Storer went through towards Summerfield, and now Nepomuceno is trying to get it around Hancock's, and Hancock's took ball before man. Nepomuceno down as a result of it. Ball being brought away by Mayer as he comes forward, but now Cameron Cox will have the chance to bring the ball away. Don't know if he hasn't seen the incident. Several Moors players did. I'm not sure Cameron Cox did. Now it does go out of play, or does it? No, still in. Hudlin plays it back to Cox, and now Nepomuceno is up, and Osborne gets around one man, gets around two. Look at this run from Osborne. Now he's brought down after what needed to be near enough a rugby tackle there. Sean May will go in the book for that one. And there he goes. Martin Woods, of course, is also on a card. Goal scorer for Halifax earlier in this game. This might well be in shooting range for Jamie Osborne. I'm sure Jordan Cranston will be an interested party, but you'd imagine that from this instance, Osborne will be the man to try and test Sam Johnson. And really, that goal has just completely taken the wind out of Halifax's sails. That they've shown urgency, they've pressed forward, and they're certainly in this game. But that's a body blow to have to go down to a moment of magic like that. When, let's face it, the Shaman, in the first 10 minutes of this second half, were well on top of things. No real interest in terms of anyone going forward, and Osborne doesn't seem interested in the free kick either, so Cranston it will be, you would think, unless this is going to be a ball chipped in towards Stephen Gleeson. Looks like it will be a shot, and here it is from Cranston, and it is wide of the near post from Sam Johnson's perspective. Now Halifax will bring it out through Bradbury. It's going to be a long ball, and rather a low and wayward one at that. Goes straight to Jordan Cranston. It was looking for Jeff King. Now Gleeson will bring it back to the outside. Nepomuceno trying to pressure him. Could be some space open up if Cranston could find the right ball, which he couldn't. Osborne looking to press high, and so too his ball up against Byrne there. Johnson will get another chance at clearing. Goes towards Bell, who can't quite get a flick on. It ricochets off of Pearce. Now Storer, if you go for the high ball, appeals for a free kick from the Moors, none given. I think that was fair. And Summerfield manages to get it through towards Earring, looking to dance around Tyrell Williams and play the ball outside towards Danny Williams. And there was a short sliding challenge from Cameron Cox, who has arguably had his best defensive game for the Moors. We always see him bursting forward, looking to be ambitious. Corner will come in from the outside left, and header is won by Hudlin. Hancock's trying to get in front of it. It breaks out towards a Halifax man. This is King. Has three Moors men in front of him. Goes outside towards Nepomuceno. Cranston up against him. Goes towards King. Looks like he'll try and shape up for a shot, and was looking to rather catch the Moors defence and Ryan Boot off guard there with that low driving effort towards the bottom corner, but Boot was more than alert to it. Simply let it roll beyond his near post. No more score updates in our other National League fixtures. As Hudlin just goes up for that ball. Summerfield playing it forward towards Earing. Man free in space. This is Danny Williams. Great save from Boot, and it's still alive. And Pearce, well, looked to get in front of it there, but then saw Boot coming back towards his goal mouth and was able to let the Moors goalkeeper gather. Now a counter looking to come the Moors way through Cameron Cox, but he plays it off of a pink shirt and out it goes. Long throwing down the right-hand side, looking for Hudlin to just shield it from Mayer, which he does, but Mayer wins the challenge. Oh, it could be life for Osborne, who is tripped up there. And that's against Mayer, who was booked earlier. Well, the Moors had a case on that one, it appeared. Meanwhile, in the FA Trophy game, it is still 1-1 at Gateshead against Farsley Celtic, where, of course, the winners of that one will play the Moors in round 3 on Saturday. Promising position for the Moors here on this right-hand side after that foul on Osborne, as he stole the ball away from Mayer. Cranston also over it, could in-swing this one, Hudlin. Ball, Williams, Pearce. Inner line around 12 yards from goal, lined up pretty much aligned with the penalty spot. Osborne comes away from it. I want to watch out for a short ball going here towards Osborne, but it's going to be a cross and it's beyond everyone in the end. Moors have had a couple of opportunities from set pieces to try and kill off this game here, and they've not really made the most of them. Long ball coming towards Nepomuceno, whose good first touch helps it towards Bell. He's crowded out. The referee lets the play run. And then Nepomuceno goes down from a challenge and the play goes on. That's what the Moors were screaming for in the first half. I do wonder if this referee's just been influenced by some of the protests from the Moors in this game. As Osborne once again looking to win a ball that he's... Well, not that he didn't lose the ball, of course, earlier on down that flank, but he... Well, speaking of losing balls, Kyle Hudlin wins one there. Halifax man is down as a result of it, but the Moors will keep going. Of course they'll keep going in this position. Osborne tries to twist and turn his way around Bradbury. Woods was the man that went down. He's now back to his feet. Osborne crowded out by several Halifax players, and a free kick is given. Ryan Boot just shouted over to the linesman, "How long left?" which can only be a worrying sign, you'd think. Take two for Jordan Cranston if he wants it on a free kick from a very similar position to the one that Jamie Osborne won on this flank just a few moments ago. Osborne is also over this one, but he walked away from the last set piece, and indeed he walks away from this one as well. This time Halifax are going to mark Jamie Osborne. You don't want to leave him in space. You'd think every team in the National League would know that by now. So it will be take two for Cranston for sure. Pearce a bit further beyond the back post, just waiting for a ball that might go beyond and looking to bring it back into the box. And here it comes. It's going towards the near post and headed away. It got a flick on from Moors' man. I think it was James Ball. Hacked clear in the end. Danny Williams will try and race onto it. Cox is back to get it over to his goalkeeper. Let's check on Boot as he clears that one away. Looks pretty fine. Osborne takes it down on his chest. Now Cox will try and play a through ball forward towards James Ball. Bit of a ricochet. Halifax bring it away. Earing has King to his outside right if you can find him. Does so with the help of one of his defenders. Now a high ball going across field. Cox helps it back towards Ryan Boot. Now an attack could be on, and the ball comes off of the Halifax man as it went down the left flank just in towards the penalty area, and Williams tried to poking in towards the 6-yard box. And it's Williams slid in, ricochet back off the Halifax man and out for the goal kick. So I can only imagine the reason why Brian Booth asked for the amount of time left was because he was genuinely curious about it and not because of any injury. Cranston gets a great flick on towards Hudlin, and could he find Ball here? He can. Ball's got one defender to beat. He'll try and drive at goal, and that defender, who was Byrne, manages to make the block. Ball just looking to twist and turn his way outside. Of course, he's already on the score sheet tonight with his 4th goal of this National League season. Jamie Osborne will, of course, take this one from the left-hand side in front of the Jerem stand, the touch-up end as it's more traditionally known. Jordan Cranston has been on some set pieces from this end, and it's been pretty successful. Of course, the goal against Wrexham came from this sort of set piece, but it's Osborne this time, going towards the middle of the box, and it's headed, but only across the area from a Halifax perspective. It's half cleared away. Jordan Cranston will race onto it and try and get it back into the area. Has help from Cameron Cox or Carl Storer if he wants to, and it gets to Storer via Cox. Now this should be a long ball, you would think, but Halifax are able to press high, and well, there was no pressure on the Moors there. They nonetheless saw fit to go backwards with the long ball not really available. Summerfield keeps the ball in play relatively easily in the end. Ryan Boot races off of his line to prevent the ball getting through to Nepomuceno, who looked to have Pierce beaten for pace there. Summerfield just helping it down the line towards Earing. Has quick feet, just Jack Earing. Now Woods trying, well, he had King to his outside, but it went towards Nepomuceno, and now here's Summerfield. That's a rather wayward ball, but it reaches Bradbury, and then is that a foul? It is indeed on Danny Williams. Looks as if Halifax have switched to a 4-4-2. Looks as if Bradbury is now playing as a natural left back. Dangerous position for this free kick. Summerfield can curl it in with an in-swinger. Bell, Earing, Nepomuceno, Byrne. Bradbury all forward. Here it comes. Headed out by Cox, Burnley as far as King, and it sits up well for him to strike, and it wasn't far away. King actually had Kyle Hudlin as the man closest to him there and thought, well, let's do my best Kyle Hudlin impression. Certainly did sit up nicely for him. Halifax keep an interesting shape on goal kicks for the opposite team. They just, it's almost like they try to man mark, even in against the Moors defenders that prevent the short ball. They've clearly cottoned on to how the Moors like to play out from the back, and Jimmy Shan has been alert to that. The Moors have barely done that tonight. It's a common thing in most Moors games. Bit of banter going on this near side between Jordan Cranston and Jeff King in relation to Cranston having gloves on. Cranston will look to guide the ball down the left-hand side. Ball being pushed there a bit by Byrne, but Hudlin gets it over the top of one of the defenders. So, well, there might have been a handball there possibly against Byrne, but he does get the chance to bring it away, and then it goes beyond Woods over towards Bell. This is a good counter here as it's come to Danny Williams. Cox just backing off of the man there, and now Earing up against Tyrone Williams towards Bradbury. Gleeson gets it cleared. Does it go for a corner? Yes, it does, just about. Over on the far side in front of the Drain Tech end. This will be the 6th corner of this second half for Halifax. May even be more than that. Here it comes towards the near post. Mayer trying to get a flick on. It is cleared away now. Cameron Cox, will he try and take on Williams? He'll try. Williams getting in his way. Fairly saves the referee. Moores not happy about it, as you would expect them not to be. Got good at ball down on goal there. Now Summerfield going down in an off-the-ball incident. Stephen Gleeson not happy with the decision from the referee there. And referee will have a word with Summerfield. Not sure if the referee actually saw that incident. I can only imagine that's why he spoke to Summerfield about it first. No Moors players drawing his ire, so seemingly all was fair. And now here comes yet another corner, and a header at the back post there. Looked like Niall Bell had a defender close to him. Now Kyle Hudlin is down in his own area. Maybe cramp possibly for Kyle Hudlin. Hudlin is up, and we'll look to run that off. So this time the option is there for Ryan Booty, who wants to try and play from the back, which indeed he will. And here is Christian Pearce. Outside via Hancock's, and then the long ball going towards James Ball. Now back to Hancock's, and there could be another long ball coming the way of Halifax, and it's simply headed out there by Byrne. Didn't really have anyone to go to. And the Moors will be pretty happy with that outcome. Cranston here, just looking for a short option. Jamie Osborne trying to make himself available. Gets a back to Gleeson in the end. Now Cranston down the line. Ricochet brings it to Osborne. Looking for space, has some free Halifax players around him. Then a slight trip there with Byrne and Osborne. And referee simply tells Osborne, go away. Osborne had got his decision. What more do you want? Says the referee. Not long to go now, of course. The Moors just looking to protect this lead. But at times, attack has been the best form of defence. It's safe to say they've had some set pieces and promising positions. Byrne just going in the book for that challenge on Osborne. There's a little bit of afters between the two. So Mitch Hancock staying back here. There will be two defenders going forward for the Moors. Williams and Pearce are forward. Stora's just going to float this one in, and here it comes, going towards Hudlin on the right-hand side. He gets a header down, coming towards Pearce, and Bradbury forced to play out there. The route to the goalkeeper was cut off by Tyrone Williams. Looks like the Moors are readying a change. Joe Sabara is getting ready on the far side. It'll be Jordan Cranston with the in-swinger on this particular set piece. Jamie Osborne makes himself available as a short option. Pearce and Hudlin are lined up on the back post. Hancock's is just inside the area. Here it comes towards a near post. Couldn't reach ball. Carl Storer trying to get in front of Nepo Muceno and does just about. No free kick for Halifax, and now it's chipped down the line, and Ball and Cranston were all alone. Could Ball bring this back the way of Cranston? He tries to, but there to make the interception is King. All a bit too telegraphed, that one, from a Moors perspective, and then Cranston concedes the free kick. Bit of afters between the two. I don't think Jordan Cranston is the type of character that wants to get himself into any kind of afters. Referee saying free come here. Jordan Cranston. Not sure if he was aware that was for him. The referee's been calling players by their names rather, for much of the game. But simply referring to Jordan Cranston as free, so maybe he wasn't aware of that. Here comes the change. Jamie Osborne goes off, Joe Sabara on. And you have to wonder if maybe Jamie Osborne's greatest contribution to this game, not that he's had a bad game by any means, but he's been relatively quiet by Jamie Osborne's standards. You have to wonder if his biggest contribution to this game is getting in the referee's ear, and you do wonder if he has maybe just swung a few decisions the Moors' ways. Cameron Cox tries to nod it back towards Ryan Boot and misjudges that one, and it will be a Halifax corner. This is heading to double figures for corners. I believe this may be their 9th in this half. It's going to be Woods to take it this time. Summerfield available short, but this one's surely going into the box. It is, and flicked and just wide, with Earring getting the flick on, but it flashes across the far post, and that's a let-off for the Moors. Very similar set piece that to the one that James Ball flicked in against Wrexham in the opening home game of this season. But the Moors at the moment able to hang on to the lead. 4 now, never beaten Halifax in the National League, of course. They're just a few minutes away from changing that. Here comes Boot, looking to go towards Hudlin once again. Goes over him and over King as well, almost. He gets a foot to it, but concedes the throw. Had to, there was a man in behind him. James Ball was ideally positioned to gather it. Ball now, trying to get around King once again. Can't do so. And the ball from Summerfield going long across field towards Williams. Moore's able to bring men back before the counter-attack can gain any real momentum. Here's Summerfield, outside to King. Going inside now. Here's Bell, bringing it towards, that appears to be Nepomuceno. Now Summerfield. Space on the left-hand side if Bradbury wants to attack it, and indeed Woods goes that way. Bradbury takes on Sabara. Now the cross comes in. It is flicked on, and then Hancock's is the last man. It's not really fully cleared, though. Pearce gets in the way, but it's still with Halifax. Come to Woods. Does he have the space to strike? Goes outside left. Here's Bradbury. They're queuing up in the box, but Cranston gets it out. Only as far as Woods, however, who's looking to twist and turn his way. Goes inside to Summerfield. Now Earring with space. Just wide from Jack Earring. Halifax knocking on the door, looking for an equaliser here at the SportNation.bet Stadium. Were in the lead, courtesy of the goal from Woods. The header flicked in at the near post following the cross from Summerfield after the short free kick. But the Moors back in the lead. Equalising first through James Ball as he blasted home. Just 3 minutes after the Halifax goal, and then in the second half, Kyle Hudlin with an absolutely superb goal, taking the long ball down on his chest, controlling it with his foot, and then blasting home. And now Hudlin has gotten to block that attempted clearance, but it will be cleared the second time asking by Johnson. Looks like that's Bell who's gotten to it. Loose ball is gathered back in by Bell there. Now King looking for the long ball. Nepomuceno could be in behind Pearce, but Pearce has won it. Still alive for Williams, and well, the Moors incensed that there was no free kick there, as Pearce was caught after he won the header. Referee's favourite 2 words seem to be go and away towards Moors players this evening. Pearce is up and is okay, thankfully. As Halifax are lining up 2 changes. So it looks like Bradbury is one of the players going off. Indeed he is. And the other player, surprisingly, given that he's been close with 2 chances in the last few moments, is Earing. That seems like a strange substitution. So it is Jack Senior who is on for one of the Halifax players. It looked as if there was 11 and 3 shown on the board there, but as far as we can tell, Williams is still on the field. So the Senior is on, Earing off. And of course Bradbury's also off, so it's a like-for-like substitution at left back. And it's Green who is on in place of Earing. Moors with a free kick for the moment. Ryan Boot will look to clear away from just beyond midway inside of his own half. Stoppage time. Not far away in this one. Boots ball goes down the right hand side. Sabara in support of Hudlin, but Halifax win possession. King going inside. Here is Woods. Storer looking to press high against him. Now here is Meyer. Now going back inside to Woods. King available to Summerfield's right. It goes short to Nepomuceno. Now here is King. Looking to bring it away from Cranston. Ball deflected off of James Ball, and that was fortunate because it almost broke there for Danny Williams. Ryan Boot just holds the ball and then gathers. He's looking to take precious seconds off the clock. High clearance should go to Woods. Sabara looks to contest it against him. Pearce looks to a trip bell there, but Halifax keep the ball and no free kick. Now here's Summerfield. Senior making the run down the left hand side and takes it beyond Sabara high, but Cox makes the clearance. It goes out for a throw. Taken quickly to Woods. Then back to the heart of the defence. Here's Summerfield. Byrne drifting in towards Moors territory. Comes back the way of Summerfield. Every Moors man bar Hudlin is behind the ball. Woods with space to cross. He will. In towards... Oh, went beyond everybody. Green was close to it. So too was Bell. And it just went beyond the both of them. I'm not sure it was really as close as our angle may have made it look. But a dangerous ball fizzles across the Moors goal mouth. Two apiece between Gateshead and Farsley Celtic, so it could be added to extra time there to decide who plays the Moors on Saturday. The Moors, first of all, have business to take care of here, and Hancock's could help them out with that. The long ball towards Hudlin, and he almost gets in front of Sam Johnson. Johnson will roll out. Attempted ball to the outside is blocked by James Ball, but now it will be for King to collect. A ball going inside towards Green and deflected by Hancock's in towards Ryan Boot. and they're more seconds come off the clock. The Moors edging closer towards their first league win in the National League over Halifax. Through Kyle Hudlin's superb strike in this second half. Boot clears long, looking once again. This time it's closer to ball. Uses an arm to get up above Summerfield, but no foul. Ball was almost given away towards Sabara there. Could have well nodded it forward, perhaps towards Hudlin, if not towards himself. In the end, it went neither way. Hancock gets up well to win the header, but the ball comes towards Green, who has it in a good position. Storer slides in and so slightly late with his challenge. And this is potentially a shooting position. Kyle Storer going in the book there. Looks like it'll be Summerfield to strike, you would think, just judging by the positions. I wonder if this one is maybe just a bit too far outside of the post for a shot. It's almost kind of tempting to go for a cross. 4 minutes of stoppage time. So it is either going to be Woods or Summerfield. Seven Halifax jerseys in the box. Summerfield runs over it. It will be Woods to strike, and it's very comfortable for Ryan Boot. Ball just bouncing right in front of him, but other than that, there was no real pace on the effort. Able to get behind it very easily was the Moors goalkeeper. And that will help the Moors see out a few extra seconds, some 30 seconds or so. This one should arrive with Hudley. Gets a flick on towards ball. Could be Sabara in behind here. Is that a handball? Yes! As ball hits the post, so it wouldn't have mattered. And a nice flick on from Hudlin there. Had the Moors in business, or so it seemed. Sabara had no complaints. Christian Pearce gets up well. It's nodded down towards Woods, so still with Halifax. Gleason trying to push high. Hudlin almost steals it away. Goes up towards Belladon. Now there's a foul. Storer penalised. Not sure Summerfield wants to be squaring up to Kyle Hudlin. Free kick taken relatively quickly towards King. Kyle Storer's stolen it. He's just got to try and hold up the ball here. Gets it away from Summerfield initially, but then he's able to win it back and play it down the line towards Nepomuceno. Now here's Mayer. Brings it away from Gleason. Here's Woods. Furthest man back for Halifax. Now Senior. Cross comes in towards the area off the post. And it looked like that may have been Byrne nodding that off the post, and oh so close to an equaliser. There's been several dangerous crosses coming from that left-hand side, and that time it finally found a Halifax head, but not the target from there. So close to an equaliser here. Moors have certainly rode their luck in at times in this second half. What with the umpteen corners they've conceded. There was the one from Earring that, well, two Earring rather, that was headed by the attacking midfielder across the face of goal, just going just wide of the far post. Ball coming once again towards Hudlin. He gets another flick on. Sabara looking to race onto it, but the defender was always going to be there first. Now Johnson will look to clear. Going towards Storer. He was clearly pushed there, and he gets the decision. Moors are going to try and just get this one. I I think the referee may have seen Tyrone Williams play it back towards Ryan Boot, expecting maybe that Boot was going to clear it upfield himself, or more likely to take more time off the clock. You'd suspect the latter, as Pearce is over the ball now, just looking to chip it towards the right flank. Hudlin there to try and win it. Senior gets in front of him and clears it high, looking for Bell. Williams has to just put it up into the sweeps. Bit of confusion as that ball was then thrown from the sweeps back onto the field, and there's still 2 balls in play. Senior just backheels it out. Could be the last attack of the game here for the visitors. Down the line towards Williams. Though there is full time, the Moors have held on for a 2-1 victory here at the SportNation.bet Stadium. A superb second half goal from Kyle Hudlin, giving the Moors the 3 points for the first time in the National League between these two teams. Game started off with what was a relatively uneventful first half, considering that there were 2 goals in it. Really only one clear-cut opportunity going the way of either side, both resulting in goals. The first coming when Luke Summerfield took the short free kick and ran it up the right wing, crossed it in, and it was nodded in by Martin Woods at the near post past Ryan Boot. Nothing he could do about it. But then the Moors going straight up the other end with a free kick floated into the area that was nodded down, and the loose ball was latched onto by James Ball, who blasted it home. Could have broken the net, such was the velocity on the effort. And then in the second half it was all about Kyle Hudlin, and the ball coming high from the right hand side in towards the edge of the area, where Hudlin took it down on his chest. Shielded it from one Halifax man, beat another Halifax man to the second ball with the underside of his foot, just bringing it down and teeing it up for himself to strike, and boy did he strike it. Johnson got a hand to it, but it was right in the top corner. Nothing that any National League goalkeeper can do about that, and a truly fitting way to win any football match, let alone the first win for the Moors against Halifax Town at this level. But what a goal it was, and it gave the Moors a well-earned 3 points, but they had to ride their luck at times, it has to be said. There was the header at the near post for Jack Earing that went just beyond the far post. It's going agonisingly wide from a Halifax perspective across the Moors goal, and then Earing having a strike from the edge of the area later on before Byrne headed it off the post at the death as Halifax searched desperately for an equaliser, but it was not to be for them. And the Moors cling on to the 3 points. They do win the must-win game from Jimmy Shan's perspective. I'm sure he will be delighted when we get the chance to speak with him in a few moments, and of course you'll get to hear that back on Saturday's show when the Moors take on the winners of that Gateshead Farsley Celtic game. Still 2-2 the last we checked. We would have expected that game had gone into extra time, and actually Farsley Celtic were able to get the win there late on with a goal in the 89th minute. So it'll be Farsley Celtic visiting here on Saturday in the third round of the FA Trophy, so you can tune into that one exactly as you tuned into this one. But for now, from myself, Ben McPhillips here in the gantry over on the car park side of the SportNation.bet Stadium, it's thank you and good night to those of you who tuned in. It's finished here, Solihull Moors 2, Halifax Town 1.